Okay, this is book 6 of 27. This is also the first book of two, or this is the first one, so there's got to be at least two more that I remember, where we get a little bit of paranormal mixed in with the normal stuff. It goes a little bit of psychic, paranormal, hallucination situation. Just goes a little bit that way. So anyway, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Tina. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And also check out my Flashback Mondays and Star Trek Next Generation Recaps Fridays and If Then Fridays. And of course, my daily book reviews. So this is book 6 in the Catherine Coulter FBI series featuring Dylan Savick and Sherlock. Lacey Sherlock Savick. And we have a lot of people do the no blank Sherlock and all the different puns to go at Sherlock Holmes. They're cute, they're adorable. There's a couple of references in here to oh, they're so cute. There's some references to movies in here. It's really cute. So you have Dylan and Sherlock and the rest of the gang are entering a barn. Oh, and before I forget, spoilers. I spoil the characters. I do not spoil the ending, but I do spoil everything else in the book, but not the ending. So Dylan and Sherlock and the rest of the gang are after these little, barely 20-something brother and sister, although they don't know that. They think they're two boys at this point, that are killing 8, 9, 10-year-old boys. So they enter this barn, and the two kids are chanting to the ghouls, encouraging the ghouls to come to take the little boys in the little whirlwind storm, dust storm going on inside the barn. And apparently everybody else is like, doesn't see stuff, but Dylan sees straight. He is able to save the children. He kills the brother of the brother sister team that's holding the kids hostage, and then he saves the two kids. And he knows what he saw, but everybody else didn't see what he saw. So they're trying to think, was it hallucination? Was it a psychic thing? Did she have some powers of some sort? And she ends up, they lock her in the hospital, and she ends up just walking away. So there's a manhunt for this girl. There's like 200, 300 FBI agents looking for her everywhere, and no one sees her. And he's worried about that. Then all of a sudden, Dylan gets a call from his sister, Lily. She's out in California in Hemlock Bay. It's a small town. Her daughter was killed 6 months ago by a hit-and-run driver. There are some suspicions and finger-pointing in there. They also try to convince Lily that she is trying to commit suicide. And apparently they've been feeding her these pills to keep her depressed and sad and sleepy and committed to bed. They're playing with her mind. It's terrible. It's horrible. And this particular night, she runs into a tree, and her husband is like, oh, she's trying to commit suicide. We got to have her committed to an asylum. Dylan comes out, and he's like, no, you are not doing that to my sister. And Lily is saying, no, I didn't try to kill myself, but I don't remember what happened. Dylan saves her, takes her to a hypnotist, and it turns out her brakes have been cut and her emergency brake had been cut. So it had been done on purpose, so she did not kill herself. So then we take her back home with us to Washington, D.C., and Dylan's mother, grandmother, was a painter. She was a very, very famous painter, and her art is very, very desired in the art world, and it's worth millions and millions of dollars. Apparently, this Tennyson guy had only married Lily for her money. His first wife also died of suicide not a year prior to when he met Lily. So there seems to be a pattern here where he marries these very wealthy women because his father's in political stuff and needs the money for his campaigns. And then he marries another woman for her money and is going to have her commit suicide also so they can get her inheritance of all the paintings and all the money that comes with it. And they decide to bring, she was encouraged by her husband's family. Her paintings had been on display in Chicago. The family convinces her to bring them to California. She brings them to California. And once they're in the hands of the California Guy Museum, he is secretly having the paintings shipped out and copied by a professional painter, copier guy, and brought back. So the ones in his museum are fakes, so the real ones can be sold to collectors. When they get back to Washington, D.C., Simon is a friend of Dylan's, and he's an art expert. They go to the local museum where the paintings were shipped, and he's like, 4 of these are real and 4 of these are fake. We need to trace where they go. It ends up becoming an international espionage event. Is it her husband's doing all this? Is it her husband's parents that are doing all this? Because at one point she has to go back to the town to interview some people, and they all believe Tennyson's family. Oh, you poor girl, we feel bad for you because you tried to commit suicide. And Lily's like, no, I didn't. And the town does not believe her. They believe the wealthy family that's given them money and, bless your little old southern heart out there in California. But so they're really pulling one on over the whole town. Lily does not try and commit suicide. They just want it to look like she tried to commit suicide and convince her of this situation. So those are your main plot lines here. So Lily is divorcing her husband Tennyson, getting away from all the drugs that he was giving her, his family was giving her. And this manhunt for Tammy Tuttle. And they search for this girl. They look for her all over the place. They have all these agents involved, and she's forever getting away. Then they set up this sting at this airport. They have 200 agents on the ground looking at this girl. And she just walks in front of their face, and she casts a spell, or uses hallucination, or hypnotic, or does something, and 2 agents die. The kidnapped victim is kidnapped, and the perpetrator, Tammy Tuttle, gets away in front of all these people, and no one saw nothing. And the blank hits the fan. Like, what happened here? It was perfect. And she walks away. And they're starting to believe that there may be a little supernatural stuff going on there. So they spend most of the book rotating from Lily and her situation with Tennyson and the paintings and somebody trying to kill her. They tried to kill her a couple times. Her and the Simon the expert. Dylan is getting very depressed because he can't catch Tammy Tuttle. At one point, she walks into a convenience store. There's 10 agents in there, and she convinces the agents. One agent, she's on fire. One agent's getting bit by a snake. And as soon as Tammy gets what she wants and leaves, they're all fine. And they're all mentally, like, foobarred. Like, what the hell happened? I could have sworn I was on fire, but I'm not burnt. I'm not hurt in any shape or form. It was an entirely mental thing. So whatever Tammy has going for her, we don't know. So, does Dylan catch Tammy for real? Does Lily live to the end of the book? Does Simon live to the end of the book? Her new the guy who's expert in paintings, who becomes her sort of kind of beau. What happens with Tennyson's parents? Is there more international people? Is there more international art dealers? Is there more international collectors in on this? You just have to read it to find out, and it's a good book. The story flows. Um, and you have to discover if the ghouls, Ghouls, are real or not. And join me in a couple of days for the 11th hour. But I hope you enjoyed Hemlock Bay, and I hope you will continue to read with me. I've got a couple of odds and ends coming up, so we'll get through those, and then we'll get back to Catherine Coulter. And I need to catch up with Patterson. He's running away from me. Have a good day, and I hope you had a good Christmas. Have a good one.